good, everybody? Welcome to Creative Koncepts, where we talk about real topics in real life. My name is Nyla, and these are my co-hosts.
OB.
I'm Kent, known as Big Shelby. The purpose of our podcast:
To connect with the community, encourage people to grow, and to encourage people to think differently. Think outside the box.
Definitely. To piggyback off of OB, I feel like, in the community, we not from out here. She is. So I think it was a perfect combination of people to get someone from another state, another city, whatever you want to call it, and to link up with Obi, because by us being in Atlanta, we able to reach the community. I want to be involved in the community more, so more people could come on, be special guests, talk to us about, some things that they trying to improve on, or, positive stuff. So that's what we trying to do.
All right, so to kick it off, we know Valentine's Day is coming up, so we're going to give y'all some Valentine's Day topics. Mm-hmm. So to start it off, what does Valentine's Day mean to y'all?
I get to start? Oh, but there's one thing I know about me on Valentine's Day. I'm definitely going to be with myself. I don't know if I'm going to be with somebody else every other Valentine's Day, but I know I'm going to be with me. So I cannot expect someone to do the little presents, the gifts, and all that, but I know that I can count on myself to treat myself on Valentine's Day. So that's what the whole month is about, really, just treating myself right, reminding myself to love me.
Yeah.
So do you believe in Valentine's Day?
I love Valentine's Day. I love this whole month. Like, I'm all about that love shit. And it's ironic because it's more self-directed than outwardly, maybe to protect my little heart.
I like that. I mean, me personally, this shit another day to me. I treat this shit just like my birthday. It's just another day to me. But I would say this, though, if I was with a woman that celebrated Valentine's Day, then that may be something I may have to start, looking more into it, or maybe find a female that ain't really fucking with it either. Because to me, it's a personal day. I have self-love, every single day. So I feel like I celebrate it every month and every day.
So I feel like, do you expect gifts on Christmas?
I really don't. I grew up with that, but I'm not really big on gifts because I just feel like I don't really need that shit. That's really not something. And plus, I don't have kids, so I think that's what it really is. If I had kids, I possibly would do that.
Let me rephrase it. Do you expect a good plate on Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Do I expect a good plate? That's if I celebrated with family. Shit, I was Christmas alone, you know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving, I did celebrate it with family, but Christmas, I was at home. I was chilling. A lot of this shit don't mean much to me. I'm out here living. I'm trying to just really spread my little positive energy, continue to work on myself, and just help other people out. Because at the end of the day, I feel like this shit bigger than me. So if I can help a whole population of people, I feel like I did my job.
Well, I'm asking about the holidays because Valentine's Day is the holidays. So it's just tradition to be celebrated. You don't have to celebrate it how everybody else does. Mm-hmm. But you said it though. If you meet a girl and she fucking really
yeah. If I really like the female, for sure, and she celebrated then as a man, I'll tap in. I'll see what that's about. Chocolates, flowers, and love. I'll see what's up. Maybe I ain't find a woman to celebrate it with, so that's probably why that's my opinion.
So, that brings me to my next question. So, how do you like to be shown love? Since you don't really care about Valentine's Day, how do you like to be shown love generally?
I think by touch, I'm a person that just be it don't have to lead to nothing. Personally, it really ain't gotta lead to nothing. Cause I'm always active, I'm always working out, I'm always just trying to stand on business. So it's when I come home, shit, I be just want to get touched. Just, hug me, touch me, kiss on me. Show me you love me. That's really all I'm looking for. I don't really need much.
So you like affection?
Yeah, affection. Cause I like to show affection. I like to hug my woman. I like to kiss on her. I like to show her love. Like I said, it don't always have to lead to sex, but I like to do that. So if I do it, I would expect that back.
Yeah. I would say for me, just show me appreciation, because a lot of things, if I wanted gifts, I'm gonna get it myself.
Yeah.
So I feel appreciate me. And for Valentine's Day, for example, you don't have to do the traditional chocolates, flowers, but do something that's gonna appeal to me. Because if you're doing something just to check a box, or I got you something, but it's not special, then it's you're doing it just to do it. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel.
What you think, Obi?
I can be a real anxious person, so I like to meet people's expectations. If people like lay out for me, this is what I want, and I care about that person, I'm gonna try to meet their expectations. So similarly, I want my expectations met. I do not feel like I have a lot of expectations, but that's all a matter of perspective. I don't feel like I have ridiculous expectations, but that's a matter of perspective too. But I know what I want, you know? And I just want what I want.
So what if like, if I celebrated you every single day of the month and I just missed Valentine's Day, that's an issue?
Yes, that's the issue. Because you know the day was coming up. You have a calendar.
Potentially there's an issue. Is there a reason?
Just a question.
Is there a reason that you missed Valentine's Day?
Nah, just a question, to be
Now,
honest.
like, say for example, like if you lost your job and you can't take us out or something, still do something special. Like, you know, the day is like designated for that. So, you know, do something within your means, but still do something.
Understood. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
For instance, like I'm saying that I want what I want, but if I present my partner or whoever, someone I care about, someone who claims they care about me with my expectations, and they tell me that for XYZ reason, I'm not able to meet those expectations, it's my choice to look at the span of our relationship and say, does this fault right here mean that this person's inconsistent, or this is just like a one-time thing, they couldn't do it, like maybe they lost their job or whatever, and it's affecting the situation overall. You know, you play things case by case.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like if somebody's showing you who they are and you're falling in love with potential, like that's on you. Mm-hmm. Because if somebody never treats you special, you can't expect for Valentine's Day. It's just, and even if they do, that's fake. Because the other 364 days in a year, they treat you like crap.
Right. For sure.
So the question is, how do you want to be treated or shown love on Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, generally, just like in a relationship or, you know.
But that's the thing, I feel like, so if a woman has these expectations on Valentine's Day and I can't meet them as a man, I don't really need to be with you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I heard that. Absolutely.
I'm wasting your time and I'm definitely wasting my time because I'm trying to please something that I know I'm not ready for.
But see, I feel like what it sounds like you're saying is you're self-aware of that. Like,
I am.
I'm not even going to waste your time. Some dudes will still waste the woman's time. So the girl has to be like, you know what? I don't think this is for us. Like, I think, you know, we just got to keep it pushing.
And there's that is a problem with men. You know what I'm saying? It could be on the women's side too. You know, I ain't gonna speak on the women though. I'm gonna stay in my lane. But you know, as a man, you know, if you can't meet the woman's expectations that you want, especially if she might not be in your classification, like she could be like a baddie. You know you ain't supposed to have her, but you got her. And you know you can't keep up with her expectations. So if you can't keep up, shit, you gotta move on, dog.
Well, most men shoot for the stars anyway, so they probably knows what it takes. They're probably gonna be overcompensating.
Is that a bad thing? People shooting for the stars?
Bad, but
They say aim high.
Your league, but I feel like most dudes shoot for the stars anyway. So they're not gonna get with some regular girl because like, oh, that's easy. You know, they want to.
Right.
So. So they probably know what they're coming anyway.
Consider that it's not overcompensating though if they are really trying to grow to meet that person, you know? Like maybe they want to win that person over, so they're gonna be a baddie too, or you know.
But like sometimes as a man, like you might not be in that space to like meet that woman's needs. You can grow and, you know, meet up to her expectation, but sometimes in that space where you at right now, it might just not be meant for you to be trying to do that. You should be focusing on some other shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if it's meant, shit.
But a lot of men are not that self-aware.
They not. But that's what I'm here for. Like I said, if I speak positivity, you know, I got to hold myself at a high standard. So my job is to help other young men, grown men too, to like stop, you know, doing it to these women out here. Like, if you know you can't handle a dog, like, just let her go, bro. Yeah, they got somebody in your lane that you can handle for sure.
Because a bum at a gas station would still shoot their shot. Like, no shade.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is like shoot for the stars, you know? If you are not shit and you're shooting for the stars and you get the star.
Hey.
what's it to you, you know?
No, I'm saying nothing is wrong
Hey,
with it,
I
but
like
know
that.
what it comes with.
Yeah.
Know what comes with the territory.
I mean, I don't want to be approached by an ain't shit nigga because he can't meet my expectations, but I also have observed many relationships where someone is with someone who cannot meet their expectation, who is not meeting their expectations, and they're still waiting for that person to meet their expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So the person who's not meeting that person's expectations is winning because they're not doing shit and they still have that person.
And they still got that person. Hell yeah.
I also just feel like know what it comes with. Like, for example, like I used to have in my head, like, because I have an education, I want a man with an education with this lengthy resume. But then I realized those kind of men are very much assholes. Like, you know, so I would rather a man, he work hard and treat me right instead of somebody who has this extensive resume, but like, you know, it's like a jerk. Like, I wouldn't want that. So I think whatever man comes my way, he has to know what comes with it. He has to know how to treat me, and I think that's the most important part.
I like that. That's good, you know, 2 perspectives. Well, 3 actually, but 2 perspectives
Yeah, I
from
feel like
the,
you get
you know
the
what I'm
male
saying?
perspective.
Yeah, because I mean, personally, like, I don't really be tripping. Like, of course you want a bad woman or whatever, but like, when you just focus on yourself, you know, grinding this shit out, like trying to find your way out this bitch, like, you gonna find your queen. You gonna find, you know.
A baddie will want you.
Yeah, you gonna find
Come
it.
on, that's true.
Yeah.
You attract what you are.
That's true. So if I'm attracted to raw women, then it's something I gotta tap into, because this shit ain't it. This ain't it.
So that kind of goes into my next question. So, like, as far as love and how you treat yourself, some people, why do you think it is that they expect something they don't give themselves? So, like, if they don't treat themselves special, if they don't do stuff for themselves, how can they expect somebody else to come in the picture and do it?
I feel like some people don't know how to be alone. You know, like that aloneness is like, fuck, I wish I had somebody to hold me. Because I just said it, like, I like affection. So, like, if I ain't got affection, that will throw me off. But it's like, instead of putting that energy towards that, I go put it towards what I need to do to, like, get myself in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, us, we doing this podcast right now. Like, little shit like that, we trying to try different things
Better
to...
ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. What you think?
What was the question again?
So I
love it.
basically asked, like, how can you expect something you don't give yourself?
Oh,
pretty much?
yeah. Speaking from personal experience, I would say I think people project a lot. Like, you don't give it to yourself, so you're trying to get it from somebody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like there's
For
too
sure.
much to be said there. Like, kind of like, why would you work for a job when you could just be self-employed, you know? Why would you go chasing someone else's money when you could go chasing your own money with your own talents and your own gifts? But we're used to a certain way of doing things. Everyone gets a job, you know? There's very few people who are self-employed or pursuing their own dream.
Because of
So
the responsibilities.
So
Just
similarly,
like-
it's a lot of pressure to just be on your own.
Yeah,
you
that
don't
It
have
is.
someone
It
to
is.
comfort you at
You
night.
don't.
You don't have like.
But sometimes that's the best feeling. Like,
can
that's what
be.
make you strong. For most people, you know, they can't handle that, so they will project that. But I feel like as the other partner, you have to work on yourself to realize, like, damn, this person really using me. I get this nigga my car to go to work. This motherfucker ain't never go to work. You know what I'm saying? He doing some other shit. So I just feel like both parties, like, gotta be held responsible. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I also feel like when you treat yourself, like if you take yourself on dates, if you buy stuff and you're not waiting for somebody else to do it, somebody already know when they show up, they gotta be doing it because you're doing it for yourself. So I also feel like it's important to be by yourself and show yourself love because it sets the standard.
Yeah, yeah.
So for example, like she said, some people want somebody else to do it, but they may not always do it how you want it. Or it may be conditional, like, so if I'm doing this for you, you got to do this for me. And the moment you stop doing this for me, I'm going to stop, doing this for you.
Now that's that tit for tat, and I'm not necessarily against that.
No, I am.
If I'm meeting your expectations, you need to be meeting my expectations. And again, there's those
it has
times-
to be like a mutual, like reciprocating thing. I'm just saying some people are conditional. When you loving yourself, that's not conditional. That's something that's continuous. You know what I mean?
I like
said,
that.
I'm gonna be stuck with myself for the next however many Valentine's Days.
I mean, shit, that could be a good thing.
Oh, I don't mind it.
Because if you rush that shit, like, a dude could come in and fuck over you.
I'm not
And,
even saying that I won't date someone for one of those Valentine's Day, but I know I'm gonna be with me.
Period.
but I'm just saying in general, like, when you rush shit, that person could fuck you up. And now you talking about niggas ain't shit. You talking about this man ain't this and this ain't that. And I'm like, damn, I could be your blessing. I could be the one. And you already put me down.
When did this become about you?
No, I was just speaking in general. That's funny. I was just speaking in general. Because you hear that saying a lot. Like, you'll talk to certain women, you try to holler, whatever, and they be like, man, niggas ain't shit. I'm like, damn, shawty, you ain't ever even, you don't really know me. And I ain't even approach you on no weird shit. Like, I'm just
Well,
saying.
I think, just to be devil's advocate, I think women say that from the men that they've dealt with.
Understood. No, understood.
So yes, they should still be open-minded when you come their way, but I think that's where that comes from. Just like y'all may say what y'all say about women. Let's be real.
They do. They do.
Because they be like, oh, women want money, but like, why would you want somebody that's broke? If I go to work every day, you need to be going to work. The math needs to equate.
How do y'all feel about teaching somebody those things that you need? Like, how do you feel about helping them to learn what you need versus them needing to come with it?
Well, I will say this. I mean, I ain't a teacher, so I don't think I should be teaching nobody nothing, to be honest.
I think that I can point you in the right direction, but your instincts need to kick in. I need you to show some kind of like, like you care. Like, I need you to, if I give you like some direction, you need to be taking the steps. But I'm not gonna be like, okay, do this, do this, do this. I'm not laying it out for you, because the moment I stop doing that, then you're still not gonna know what to do. You know what I mean?
I love that you said it in that tone of voice too, because I was just thinking, I'm not a fucking parent. I'm not a fucking like, I don't have dependents. I'm not a teacher.
Yeah. Not real talk.
I'm not a pedophile. I'm dating someone who is like a fellow adult, like I'm supposed to be
I was like,
communicating with a fellow adult.
I see where you're going with that. Like it's a child that you're dealing with. Like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, that's why I'm trying to work on myself, or that's why you're supposed to work on yourself, so you won't even run into that issue of like trying to teach somebody about,
do I have to goo gaga you into how to treat me right?
I feel like, when you meeting somebody, it has to be some kind of dialogue to like for them to understand you. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like they need to be observant. Their mind need to click in more than me telling them. You know what I mean? So, because you still have to learn somebody.
That's
something
correct.
that offends you may not offend me, or something that I like you may not like. So that's why you have to learn me, and I don't mind sharing that with you and letting you know, hey, this is why I am the way I am. But you have to start picking up and like, okay, I think she'll like this. Just
all right, yeah. When you put it like that, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. When you put it like that, that makes a lot of sense, because, yeah.
But no, am I gonna tell you every little thing? No, I'm not.
Nah.
I also want to piggyback off of that. You had said something about treating yourself right. Now, I believe that what you want in a partner is what you want in yourself, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
So
I see what you're saying.
if your partner knows how to treat themselves right, then you would expect that they know how to treat you right. Of course, you have to tell them like the ways to treat you in certain aspects, but in general, there's just something to be said about like, you don't want someone to treat you like an asshole, so...
Yeah, I think that part of it is true, but I also think some people, they'd be like, well, I wouldn't have taken offense to that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, it's not about you. You have to remove yourself and think about the person and where they're coming from. So I think a part of it is true, like treat others how you want to be treated,
Right.
the golden rule. But I also think it's like, okay, it's not about me. Let me remove myself from the situation and see like where I went wrong or what this person like. It's not about what I think I should like. For example, for a gift, or I think going out to eat is enough. But if that person, that's not really their thing,
Right.
then you doing it because that's your intentions, but you still kind of wrong in a way.
I see what you're saying.
Right?
Nah, that's a good point. Because, relationships is a lot of work, so
It's learning.
you do have to learn someone. If you basically saying relationship is just like life then. If you're not willing to learn how life works and how it moves, then you're not willing to learn how this woman move and how she works. So that's a good point. I like that. Okay.
That's that's like, with the love languages. Everybody have like their preference, how they rank. It's 5 of them, so maybe they top 2. Somebody may really like he said, touch. But like I like words of affirmation, like a gift. I can buy myself a gift. Not saying I don't like them.
Right.
Give me a gift or whatever. But I like for you to say like, Nyla, you talk to me. You really like, you made me have a different outlook, or you really like your words of encouragement. That means way more to me than a gift. So I feel like that goes back to what I was saying, that you have to learn a person to know how they like to receive love. So you give it to them in a way that it could be received versus like, oh, I like gifts, so I got you this purse, but it's not really meaning nothing.
Yeah,
to
it's
me.
not. It's not.
Versus you, like, let's say, somebody got you some shoes or whatever, but you want affection. So I'm getting you the shoes, but it's not still feeling that
Right.
void.
It's not. No, that's a good point. And if it's not, then like I said, it just might not be something that we just might not be able to work out on. Because, I mean, shoes, that's cool and all, but like,
It don't have that meaning.
it don't have that meaning.
But some people were like, damn, you took your time to buy me some shoes. So you really have to learn a person.
Yeah.
And that's also like, I shouldn't have to tell you, or I want you to tell me I look nice. I shouldn't have to tell you that. That should come naturally.
It should. You're right.
That should be like your instinct just from observing and learning me. But that all takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the bottom line, is effort.
You got a point.
So, over the past couple of years, I realized that next time I start talking to someone to want to date them, I really have to explain to them my love languages, because I didn't always understand how important that was.
Like, how early on do you do it, though?
If I realize that I'm feeling someone and they're feeling me back, it's going to have to be, like, immediate. Because something about me, one of my love languages is not quality time. I don't know how to show love through quality time. I don't even really like getting love through quality time. I like acts of service.
So
and
like
I like
what?
you to get the fuck out of my face,
Oh.
So
like, what for acts of service?
It's not, I could almost say gifts. Gifts is one of my forms of
Your love language.
Mm-hmm. But it's not so much about just purchasing me something material. It's more about paying attention to who I am as a person, noting what I might need. Like, I don't drive. I don't have a car, If I'm dating someone and they're like, let me take you around, do some errands on your off day, to me, that's an act of service. That's an act of love. You buy me, like, some Jimmy Choos. I mean, that's an act. That's great, But
She said, Jimmy.
once again, I don't have a car, so I'm probably not going to be taking the MARTA in my Jimmy Choos. And then quality time. I understand how much people value quality time, and I understand it's like important or whatever, but at one point we got to know each other through quality time. We do things together. That's quality time. Do we always have to be in each other's faces?
I mean, I may be biased, but yes.
I mean, and that's you,
So, do you think it's an adaptation from how you've lived your life?
Oh, absolutely.
So that may change when you.
That's possible too, but that's why when I get into a relationship, I would want to make that clear from the get-go, so that this person is not constantly wanting to be in my space. They're going to be mindful. This person appreciates acts of service. This person appreciates gifts. This person does not necessarily want to be bothered all the time. So when we are together, we're going to make it purposeful.
So do you think the person will perceive you liking them if you don't want to be bothered?
No, because we're going to do shit together.
Okay, so it's still quality time, but you still need your space.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not like attached, like
Yes.
I'm all up on you every second of the day. Yeah, I don't like that neither.
That's what quality time suggests to me. I could be wrong.
I mean, it could be in many ways. I mean,
Quality time and a leech. That's the difference.
nah, you're right.
I see a lot of leeching.
I want the lead. I'm straight.
No, because like you still have to be your own person.
You do.
Have your own identity. So like when you have a leech, it's like you such and such girlfriend. Like no, I'm still not.
Nah, for sure.
So
And that could go back to the point where, like, women or man, like when you in that leech bubble with a person, when you trying to go somewhere,
you say what a
you like
female.
whatever. Look, whatever. Shit, look. when you trying to like do something or whatever, go out wherever or such and such, if you in that leech bubble, it'd be hard to step away. Cause you so used to like being attached to this person and you might not even try to go out because you know like,
But that's how you stop the leeching from even stopping. You set those boundaries early. You tell them, I don't want to leech. And if they're a leech, they better not act like one. They
But
better
I
learn
think
how not to
it
be.
needs to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I still want my independence, but you shouldn't be trying to just ditch me for your boys like every chance you get. Like,
oh nah, hell nah.
so we should be able to go out together, but you should be able to go with your boys and I should be able to go with my girls. But it has to be balanced. It can't be leaning more one side versus the other. But you still gotta know, like, okay, do your boys do for you what I do for you?
But I mean, if I got love for her like that shit, and sometimes I want my female to be with my boys. Like, fuck it. She one of us. Well, I gotta treat her different. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't want no female that's all like, you know, nah, I ain't trying to get my feet wet. And I don't want my shirt wet and all that. Nature, I don't like all that. Like that's, I wouldn't deal with you. Cause I want
She
to.
gotta like nature.
She just gotta have kind of like a little rough spirit. In a sense, like, she ain't afraid to jump off that diving board. She ain't afraid to go parachuting. I'm just throwing shit out there, but like shit like that. Because most women ain't trying to do all that. Like,
How you know? Do you know all women?
no, I'm just saying, most women not trying to do all of that.
Okay, so
You think I'm talking about you? That's what you...
Asking.
Do you want to get your feet wet? Do you want to jump off that diving board?
I zip line.
That's my point. So you ain't the women, you know what I'm saying? That's the issue.
I'm asking, like, why does she have to get bit up by mosquitoes?
Nah, I'm not saying that. I mean, we could go hiking. We went hiking. Did we get bit by a fucking mosquito?
Probably.
I didn't. You would know. Fuck you. You read and shit. Like you would know. So, I mean.
Anyway.
I'm not saying it like.
It's like we've all had experiences with a certain type of people, and a lot of those certain type of people, and as a result, we have an adverse feeling towards that. We don't want to see that again in our lives.
Well, I'm not saying it like I'm throwing shade at nobody. I'm just saying like that's what I see sometimes.
Obviously you've come into
you know what I'm
contact with
saying?
a lot of women who are a bit more like.
Oh, I just see other people's
polished.
relationships.
Okay, for instance.
Like, it ain't gotta be me dealing with other women. It could be like I'm with my partner. Well, okay, I can use better words. That's me learning myself. I gotta use better words. But I know what I meant. So what I meant when I said that was, it could be, you know, you see how your partner is or your uncle or your cousin with they female, and they female move a certain way. And I'm like, that's why I'm not in a relationship with a woman like that, because I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, I think, like, to go back to what you said, like, way earlier, some people don't want to be alone, so they'll settle.
Correct. Oh, man, it's a lot of that shit. It's a lot of settling out here.
Like you said earlier, it takes strength to be by yourself, you know, because, like you said, it's a lot of settling. So people would just, okay, I'll just compromise with this and compromise with this just to have somebody.
The self muscle is the most important muscle to work out, because you're always going to be by yourself. Whether you're in a room full of people or you are by your fucking self, you're always going to be with you.
That's deep. Say it again.
Oh.
Hey, you like that shit? Yeah, talking shit over it. Look, hey, talk that shit. Look,
Well,
if you can remember it.
work yourself.
Hey.
You know? Just work yourself.
But I mean, with the settling, for your first attempt, if that was something that happened, hopefully you got out of it and you learned from that, and that's not something that you continuously doing. Just continue to settle. Because like you'll get in a relationship, y'all break up, fucking 3 months later, you in a whole nother relationship. How do you feel about that? You think that's too fast? You think?
Run the question back.
So basically you with a partner, however many years, however many months, whatever. But you just got out of one, 3 months later, you in a relationship.
But I think that goes back to not wanting to be by yourself.
Right.
Some people be with somebody else to get over somebody else. So that goes back to, you have to love yourself and take that time and be self-aware. Like, stop trying to jump from person to person.
Right.
It's not solving anything.
Nah, that ain't doing it. They out here jumping soul to soul to soul. They fucking everybody up. So I would say, like, do you feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody and like, do you feel like you should grow with that person all the time, or do you feel like you could let go to get yourself together, and if it's meant to come back around, like?
No, we growing. It depends.
Understood.
Like, you have to be I feel like if it's dating, we just, you know, whatever, like, that's different. But if we're together and we locked in, we're growing together. Because at that point, we're a unit, so we're growing together.
I feel you. I mean,
But I also think you can individually grow, but then grow as a unit at the same time. Because all that can happen simultaneously.
all right, so that's the conclusion of our podcast, Creative Concepts. We got
Nyla.
Obi.
Kent, and I would like to end our podcast on a quote, and the quote reads, "It's your road and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you." So walk your own path and you handle your shit. Do what the fuck you gotta do. Stop being a leech. Stop jumping soul to soul fucking people up out here.
And love yourself.
And we're gonna end it like that. See y'all for the next episode.